baby, listen to the speaker. No matter what, just say the word. I'm loving all that I see.
Pop, Perswayable. What's going on, everybody? I want to let you all know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We were able to get to the front page of Reddit with over 20,000 upvotes. So make sure that you always tell your story in this life. There's going to be people who try to not motivate you. They'll try to tell you that you're insignificant. That's all absolute, utter garbage. And I can tell you that your story can help inspire many people to just live productive lives and do a little bit better. So anyways, let's get into the match. I know. Sometimes you get crazy Perswayable with the humor and the laughing. Sometimes you get super serious Perswayable with the analysis on the game, etc. Today, I'm kind of like in a lo-fi, like sort of chill mode. Sort of need more coffee in the morning. So I'm playing Mind's Eye in this match, and I build Mind's Eye left to right. I honestly think that decoders should no longer be going down and right for the tide turner. And the reason being so is that this clown, so this is legendary rank mode, and there's a few things that the clown does wrong in this footage, but there's a lot of things that I do right. For instance, this right here, that's me building left on the persona wing. Don't do what I'm doing if you're not a Mind's Eye with the left wing. I'm using the walls to my advantage because I can see through the walls. If I was a different survivor, I'd be taking a huge risk because I really wouldn't be knowing where the hunter was, and I'd presume that they were only following my footprint. So this is kind of like an exclusive Mind's Eye only strategy, in my opinion, with how I'm using this certain part of the map. You can use this with other survivors. Again, just be a little bit careful because you're not going to know if the hunter does decide to try to predict your movements and cut you off mid-route. Furthermore, if you're a Mind's Eye player and you build down and right, this route wouldn't have worked for you. So I think it's important to say that what people forget, okay, he swung right there, by the way, because he thought I was going to climb the pallet. I think I talked to this hunter at the end of the game because I asked him what he was doing. This is a top player, and he was just like, dude, honestly, I just thought that you were going to pallet dive that, so I got a little lucky there. But with Mind's Eye, I do go left to right. That left wing on the persona build really helps you with your kiting ability. You can do things that you normally cannot do if you don't have it. And so right now with the whole decoding, the decoders with Mind's Eye mechanic, we spoke about this in the last video, guys, about how I think the meta is changing. I don't think that the dancer is necessarily going to be the meta. I would say that the dancer is a B tier character. She wouldn't be any higher than B tier. I think she has great kiting potential. But with that being said, we were talking about how I think decoders such as Mind's Eye mechanic, they may end up getting phased out. And they may end up getting phased out only because it is really hard to use them with the current meta of hunters and the traits that they use. So my argument is that if you're going to use Mind's Eye or mechanic, I do think that the left to right build would be better in case they do go after you. Your ability to kite with that left wing is just so much better. However, that's just my personal opinion. It's not necessarily the meta right now. What I've been trying to tell a lot of people is that we're going to see what the meta is when we see the Call of Abyss 2 tournament. Right now, a lot of people are trying to experiment with different builds and different things in order to, if some of you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to my last video with the current meta changes. We talk about it more in depth, but I did want to just let people know the way that I was kiting with Mind's Eye at that point in time. I was doing it because of the specific build that I had. I actually messed this kite up a little bit. I got lucky with that ripper right there. I thought that I had more distance between him and I. And so that was really, really risky of me to do that, to run back in here. I should have stayed within those walls. So I don't really approve of that strategy that I did. However, this is rank mode as well. This is a 2 versus 8 match. This is when Grizzly and I were playing together. Y'all can see Grizzly up there. And this was on his live feed. This was from my perspective of it. And, Geisha comes after me, and then she decides to leave, which honestly I think is a smart thing for a Geisha to do. People are starting to get a lot more afraid of the dancer. I'm already starting to notice some things, which is very interesting. However, Wu-Chang is like, I don't give a damn. Wu-Chang is like, We're about to rumble. It's Perswayable. You know what? I know what this Wu-Chang is doing. This Wu-Chang is like, I don't even care if Perswayable kites me for 5 minutes. I just want to kill him. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play 2 versus 8. I think I'm only going to show up until I go down the first time, because then after that, it gets a little bit more funner. The hunter relaxes a little bit, and we kind of allows me to live at certain various points, so it was fun. But I know for a fact he was trying to kill me all throughout this entire kite session. And what I'm doing is I was really making sure to see if this Wu-Chang was going to take down the box. So I go back and, I go for the stun. And I don't always really recommend this route. The only reason why I'm using this route is because it's early game, and I know that the Wu-Chang isn't necessarily fed. Now, I know what somebody's going to say, well, what about the umbrella? Well, usually I'm looking backwards to kind of look at that, but the route is not really one of my most favorite routes that I do, but I do use it. You'll probably see me do it again. And now this is really why I like tight kiting with the dancer, because so you see my ping, he puts down his little slow. I got my slow, so slow versus slow. We're going to see whose slow is better, and it's mine. Now, I looked at some of the top dancers on the server, which is really more about how much you're playing the survivor. And a lot of them have her build incorrectly. So I definitely think that you should be investing 1 point in pallet stun, because that 10% increase in pallet stun with the blue box is really what allows you to separate from the other hunter, right? So again, how I'm kiting here is very different from how I would be kiting late game. We also know that a lot of top hunters, what they'll do is if they really want to kill you, the best thing for them to do is to destroy your blue box as fast as possible. It's better to destroy the blue box and even getting stunned than constantly trying to kite me within that blue box radius, because at that point you're not going to get me for the most part if I have it in a good spot. So that's one of the things where I think what he did is he tried to use his the peeper to see if it would slow me down enough, because Wu-Chang kind of has that ridiculous attack radius, but it didn't really work out in his favor at that point. That's a really good, a good enough area for me to do what I need to do. Did a few trying to do a few jukes. I know he's gonna hit me. He's gonna get this 2 jukes. Did he get me right there? Yeah, he got me right there. That was pretty good. And for some reason, I forgot that over there didn't really have too many of the pallets. So what I'm going to do, we're going to climb this pallet. We're going to get a little bit of a speed boost. This is 2 versus 8, so I change up. I think I go left and down in 2 versus 8. I think I need to come out with a guide. I think I need to come out with a guide for 2 versus 8 because a lot of people use the wrong builds, in my humble opinion. I think 2 versus 8, some of the best builds that you can use is probably left and down. Left and down is really your ability to continue kiting. And down is your ability to use that tide turner abuse. People don't use it in 2 versus 8 as much, and I think that they should. Also, when you build tide turner, you increase decoding speed of those around you by 7%. That's, I believe, 2 on the persona points or whatever. So that's a pretty important thing in 2 versus 8 as well. Everybody will decode faster. So if you really want to win in 2 versus 8, you should definitely be investing in tide turner, and a lot of people don't. But yeah, so this is me just showing just a kite. We're still kiting. We're still going. This is where things get kind of dumb, though. I kind of get dumb here because I thought that we were a far enough distance from the Wu-Chang, and the Wu-Chang kept coming after us. Kept coming after us. I probably should have been more conservative, but I honestly thought that Wu-Chang would have used his ability to really, put that, to close the gap between him and us, and he didn't. So I thought that he was actually going to leave us, and lo and behold, he's still here. Also, this video is about to end pretty soon, but I want to thank everybody for their feedback on my last video relating to the current changes in meta. It's going to be very interesting to see what we see in Call of Abyss, especially with the increase in hunters. But anyways, yeah, so some just basic footage. Hope you guys enjoyed it and see how I'm playing different characters. And yeah, everybody have a good day. Bye-bye now.